Hello there, my name is Sanjeev Dwivedi and here I am going to be presenting a course on app building using JavaScript and HTML5 for Windows 8. The target audience for this course is someone who has familiarity with computers and has some experience in any existing programming language. You don't need to be a master developer, but a familiarity with development in any language will be helpful. To follow along this course, you would need a Windows 8 computer and Visual Studio 2012. If you don't have Visual Studio 2012, you can download Visual Studio Express version from Microsoft's website for free. You also need a little bit of familiarity with the command line. Don't worry if you are not familiar with the command line. You will be able to pick the basics easily as we progress. So the question would be, why JavaScript? Why would we want to do application development in JavaScript and HTML5? Well, there are many reasons as to why one would learn JavaScript. JavaScript is the de facto programming language of the web. You would be hard-pressed to do any sort of web development without using JavaScript. JavaScript originated at a time when web was used primarily to store static content. As people wanted to be able to create dynamic pages, a language was needed to be able to write code that could run within the browser. Thus, JavaScript was born. Even today, the only way to write browser-side code that will run across all major browsers is to use JavaScript. JavaScript has always been treated as a second-class language, and people considered it a language that could not do the heavy lifting that was required to write desktop or server-quality programs. However, as time has progressed, all these concerns have been alleviated. Here is how. First, as Microsoft realized that people want to write apps in JavaScript, it put a big bet on HTML5 and JavaScript and created the tools and technologies required to be able to write purely JavaScript applications. As of now, JavaScript stands on the same footing as more conventional app development languages such as C++ and C#. Second, on the server front, enthusiast community has created Node.js, a framework to write server-side applications purely in JavaScript. This is very popular framework, and many heavyweight companies such as Walmart and Yammer have gotten behind it and started using it in different capacities. Node.js is supported by many companies, including Microsoft, on the cloud. In my dealings with JavaScript, I have realized that JavaScript stands tall when it is considered purely as a language. Its simplicity is beautiful. A lot of people dislike JavaScript because they pick it up while getting involved in web development. This is not a very intuitive way to learn JavaScript, since web development is fraught with many perils and it becomes hard to separate the language from the web UI based on HTML and the browser inconsistencies. Thus, in this course, I will first teach JavaScript purely as a language, without the constraints of the browser or UI. Once you feel confident with JavaScript, you would be well prepared to take on app development using JavaScript and HTML together. The purpose of this course is to get you up to speed on all the technologies that are required to build Windows 8 applications based on JavaScript and HTML5. So I will be teaching the following technologies. First, I would be teaching you JavaScript purely as a language. We will use command line tools and learn just the JavaScript part of this entire equation. Next, we would learn asynchronous or callback based development. Next, we would understand and learn a browser document object model. This is how the browser looks at an HTML page. Next, we would start looking at how to build UI, and we would look at styling HTML pages using cascading style sheets, also called as CSS, and we would learn how to build layouts using them. Next, we would learn Win8, which is Windows Runtime, the framework for developing Windows 8 applications that has been created by Microsoft. It gives us extra libraries that are not usually available in pure JavaScript, which runs inside the browser. So this gives us facilities like opening files, interacting with devices, and so on and so forth. Next, we would learn about the Windows 8 design, style, and paradigm. This describes how an application should look and feel on the Windows 8 platform. I will also, during this course, touch on the following topics. First, we would learn how to debug programs. Next, we would learn how to manage source code using Git, which is an open source tool for source control. Then, if the time permits, we will also go briefly over how to use Node.js to develop server-side code.